Hey, Craig.
It's all on you. It's all on me. Can't you see? It's all on you. It's all on me. You and me. Can't you? It's all on you. It's all on me.
Hey, Craig. Right or wrong, we don't care. Win or lose, we don't care.
Hey, Jeff.
We don't care.
Craig. What is
I'm
up,
back.
dude?
You're back. We're back.
We're back. We're so fucking back.
I don't even know what episode it is.
I know. Like,
but yeah.
we're like, we'll go ahead and tell the audience for our 5 people or 10 people, maybe like, okay, how many people we got in the Slack? We got like 100 people in the Slack. They probably care. For the people who like have stuck with us, I have gotten a fair number of emails over the last few months, like, hey, are you guys still like a thing? Am I missing them? Are you? I got one yesterday that said, actually, like, it was very sweet. Said, "Are you guys okay?" And I was like, well, I mean, maybe not. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's in the eye of the beholder. But we also had to, we'll let the listeners know, we also had to like do a little debrief here of like, wait, how do we do this again? What's our routine? How do we use Riverside? Oh, we learned. So Riverside's our recording software. And I discovered when I logged in that the tier that we pay for no longer exists. That's how long it's been since we've recorded a show. But here we are on the eve of football, Craig.
Yes, and to do the normal intro, I remember that I'm Craig Powers, and with me, as usual, is Jeff Newser. And this is Podcast Versus Everyone, episode, who knows? It's a reboot at this point. I have personally not been on the show for 9 months, so...
episode 200 and something.
200 and something.
That's right.
Yeah, it's great to be back. You know, I just had a lot of stuff happen last fall. I did not feel like being in any sort of public eye or being on camera or being recorded. I just wasn't in that sort of space, so I apologize. I really appreciate Jamie stepping in, recording some episodes during basketball season. Those were great. And Jeff, you know, you keeping it going for a while, but then you, of course, had stuff going on all summer, to the point where I even sent you a text that said, "Hey, I'm ready to get back," and you totally missed it.
Yeah,
like
I missed
months
it.
ago.
And Craig's like, I told you I was ready to start, and I was like, you did? Like how did I don't know. How did I miss that? I don't know. But yeah, it was, so like I am right now, I'm recording on my couch. Normally I'm sitting at a desk. We just moved. So we sold a house and bought a house, and literally closed on both on the same day last week, which we thought was a really good idea, but maybe I don't actually recommend for anybody anymore, because that was quite a bit. And so I was getting ready. I set up a desk upstairs, getting ready. I had a little station, and then I realized the connection was way too weak because the Wi-Fi was at the other corner of the house. And I was like, oh shit. So like I'm running downstairs. So if you're watching this on YouTube and at some point like the camera starts to shake, that's because like my leg might be falling asleep. My leg that's up on the ottoman might be falling asleep here. And my microphone, I don't even have like I usually have like a mic stand to hold it for me, so I look at least sort of professional. But instead I'm like sitting here like, you know, lounging on the couch with my feet up on the ottoman, which honestly is more comfortable. I also don't have, by the way, we'll get to beers later, but I mean, I don't even have a beer glass unpacked right now. Like I could have thrown it in a solo cup, but because we have plenty of those right now, but I didn't want to do this beautiful Jester King beer. So
I do have to give a shout out, and I forgot to set this up behind me. I'm going to figure this out. I might need an extension cord. But my mom got this amazing neon sign. Let me plug it in so that people can actually behold its glory. For a while back, crap, I don't know where the plug-in went. There we go. I don't even know what this is for. My birthday, maybe? Was it my birthday or Christmas? I
I
don't.
think it was Christmas.
All right. So yeah,
Here we go.
behind
Yeah,
I will get it set up behind me at some point.
I love it.
Well, look at that, make me red the rest of the thing. But yeah, it's really cool. I also have another neon sign I want to set up, but I'll wait to reveal that one.
Okay.
It's Emma will appreciate it. Um,
Okay.
can you even hear me?
I
Sorry,
love
I'm
it. The
way back from the
suspense.
mic.
Yeah, I
Emma will
got you. We got
appreciate
you,
it. Uh, but it's it was it was definitely an unsober purchase, but I have it now, and my wife hates it, so it's great. So I need to hang it up somewhere.
Those are the best kind.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But yeah, this feels good, man. This feels good. This
know.
feels
It's
great
like
already.
it's like a warm blanket, just
Exactly.
right around us, like a big hug, like one of our big bear hugs.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, honestly, it's been hard to, along with the fact that both of us had stuff going on, and you've been busy, and I've just been maybe a little too checked out. Uh, it's just, it's still, we're in this purgatory of college sports. This last year of not having a real conference, and at least the Pac whatever conference has enough teams to now be legitimate and compete for postseason and all that. So that's good. That's happened.
Yep.
Welcome, Texas State.
Woo!
We're happy to have you. Yeah,
The
it's great.
Bobcats. We got more cats in this conference again.
A lot closer to New Orleans and Memphis. Hint, hint. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so that's great. But that doesn't start till next year. Obviously, we can start talking about football. This football schedule that they put together is obviously, which is cobbled together, and it is one of the weirdest football schedules you will ever see.
Yep.
We already talked about last year that I think already that they're playing Oregon State twice.
hmm
You have trips across the country, halfway across the country to North Texas, across the country to Virginia, almost all the way across the country to Ole Miss. Two of those are back to back. This is the wildest schedule. And welcome, Jimmy Rogers. You're playing one of the weirdest schedules. You're playing as an independent, because that's what they
Yep.
are.
Yep.
Obviously they burned those bridges with the Mountain West. They weren't doing doing that scheduling agreement this year.
Nope.
That wasn't going to happen. So they had to figure it out, and they did. So that's probably the hardest work that WSU has had to do in 100 years, putting a football
Oh
schedule
yeah,
together.
for
Um,
sure.
and they have one. And if you want to take a trip to Dallas, or take a trip to Virginia, or take a trip to Mississippi, you got some kind of weird trips that you probably won't usually have for Wazoo football, and that's cool. It's going to be a tough schedule. UW has a bye before WSU. I think Virginia has a bye before WSU. That could be wrong. And then Oregon State has a bye before WSU. At least one of the games. It might be both. So there's definitely there was no favors given to this team on the schedule, and almost a very new team, which is the norm at this point. Even if you have continuity in your coach, you're going to have a ton of turnover. So even UW had continuity in their coach, and they had a ton of turnover. Like, everyone has a ton of turnover. So
I,
it makes it harder for these preseason preview
yeah.
podcasts.
Yeah, well, and that also makes it harder to, like, I mean, look, like in college sports, there's always a downtime. Like, we used to do we were like, okay, how can we keep the podcast going during the off season? what's some interesting stuff we can do. People who've listened to us for a long time might remember when we did the Everyone in 60 episodes, right, where we'd do the
Those are
football
fun.
in 60. Yeah, we'd tell everybody, hey, push play now. And then we'd like watch the game and talk about it, and people could, watch along with us. And I mean, but like at that time when, you've got something to look forward to, you are thinking about the next season, you sort of know who's on the team and, whatever, like, whenever you go back and watch those things, you're not watching those games or rewatching those games just for sometimes you are, but rarely it's not just for the pure pleasure of just rewatching a certain game. You're like looking for things like, okay, who are some of these players, who's, it informs what we're thinking, at least, for you and I, informs what we're thinking, going to talk about, there's all these sorts of things that go along with it. And it, like, truly, honestly, it gets really hard. Like, I don't know. I think people sometimes think podcasting is like super easy. You're just talking to a mic. And on some level it is. But there's a lot of other work that goes into it. We got to make the time to do it. We got to get together. We got to edit it all up. I got to write the newsletter for it. I got to do all this stuff. Like, there's it's a number of hours, to pull this off each week. And it's like there's just a point where you're just like, fuck, man, I don't even know who's on the team. Like, what are we even, like, the team's not even playing for anything next year. They're an independent. Like, maybe they can make a bowl game, whatever. I mean, it just is, it's hard to kind of convince yourself that it's worth the effort. But now that we got a game coming up, it's worth the effort, right? Even if I will tell our listeners right off the top, we don't know shit about this team. We're just going to be super transparent about that. Like, neither one of us have been able to really keep track, and I'll be honest for myself, nor did I even really have the motivation to try and keep track of I'm not Jamie, man. Jamie gets paid to do that shit. I don't. I'm like, can I spend, how many hours can I spend dissecting the roster? It just, no, so, that doesn't make me any less interested in Saturday. It doesn't make me any less interested in what I'm going to see. It just means man, I'm between the player turnover and the complete coaching staff overhaul, and not just the coaching staff overhaul, but the philosophical overhaul.
Yeah.
When you put all that together, I am more just I feel like I don't really know anything. I'm just really curious about what I'm going to see on Saturday.
Well, yeah, I just know when I fired up, I haven't played much college football 25. I fired it up the first time, and the offense was so completely different. And I immediately did what I think almost a lot of people did, was just switch it back to the air raid.
We do,
but
but
they did.
The show know how much we love the air raid.
They did us nasty again. Last year they make Mateer. He's slow and he fumbles a lot. I fire up a game. First game I played, Eckhouse is fumbling every single time he gets sacked. I'm like, what the hell is this game? This is in your attempt to make it realistic, you made it ridiculous. I just make the games fun. They don't have to be. Yeah. They can be hard, but they don't have to be hyper realistic.
We've had this conversation before. I play ungodly amounts of FIFA or EAFC now, right? And it's whenever they play they have those goddamn day games. Anybody who plays this game knows what I'm talking about. They have a goddamn day game, and half the field or a third of the field's in a shadow, and it's I can't see when the players run into the shadow. I'm
and that's not realistic.
This? Who's asking for this? I can't even see.
Because that's not what the players see, so it's not a simulation in any way.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's what it looks like if you're a fan.
Yeah.
We've definitely
I'm trying to
dealt
play
with that.
here.
Yeah,
I'm trying to score goals.
But yeah, last year, all the realism that I haven't actually tested it out yet. Someone will have to let me know. Last year they had the sun was facing the wrong way at Martin Stadium. Because the sunset would reflect off of the football ops building, which I don't know if you know anything about the Earth.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
The
No.
sun rises in the east and it
And
sets
it
in the
sets in the
west.
west. Yeah. It's
When you're on the west coast, like you pretty
good
much
try, guys.
always know where to look for the
Yeah.
sunset.
Yeah. Good try.
And so yeah, good effort. But hey, Butch is in the game now, which means my kids like it a million times
Okay.
more
That's
because
good.
Butch is in the game.
That's important. You
They
can
would
play the
last
game.
year they'd be like, "Why is Butch not in the game?" I'm
Yeah.
like,
You can
"I
play
don't
the
know,
game and
man."
call it good parenting because your kids will be excited to see Butch. And
Exactly.
you can be
Exactly.
like, Daddy's playing a game. Who wants to see Butch? I do. I do.
Yeah, that was
Yay.
huge. Last year was so irritating. UW had two mascots, and we didn't even get one.
It's bullshit.
And Butch is in the game this year.
All
Good
right. Well,
stuff.
good.
Um, but yeah, I haven't played it a ton. I've been playing more Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4, which was it's okay.
Yeah.
They changed 4 a lot. Like
But
I
do
don't know.
they still play Superman on repeat like eight
No,
billion times?
that was like Tony Hawk 1. So
I know it
it's
was, but like I'm just
no,
wondering,
no.
like, did they update the
They don't
music?
play. No, it's the music from 3 and 4, and then they add in new songs, but
Okay.
they don't have nearly as many songs as they did on the 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
they repeat a lot. I usually just put
Okay.
headphones in and put my own
Yeah,
music
that's
on
good.
because I've already only
That's a good way to go.
I can hear that CKY song only so many times. It's a good song, but um yeah. But yeah, so video games. This is a video. Welcome to the video game
Yeah,
podcast.
welcome to video games versus everybody.
Video games versus everybody. But yeah, so I've actually played video games a little bit in the last couple
Yeah.
months, which I didn't
Yeah.
do before that. But yeah. Um, so
So
football.
kind of back to
So
like I'm
Jeff,
curious. Hold on.
yeah,
I'm
go ahead.
curious what you think. So okay, so you change your offense back to the air raid. Obviously, it's not going to happen in real life, but it's like how are you feeling about the fact that we are going to be a ground and pound, run the ball, throw it maybe like 25 times a game? Like, how are you feeling about this shift in identity? Because it is like there is, I don't think, any point in WSU's modern history where they've been successful away from a wide open offense.
I don't know. Like it it's going to be hard to wrap my head around until I actually see the games because it's so weird because since Dennis Erickson really they've been throwing the ball a lot more than most teams. Just always have thrown more than most teams. So like
Mm-hmm.
you're going back 40 years basically
Yeah.
of a history of being a team that throws an above average amount of times, spreads it out, one back, two back, but tight ends, tight ends with Price and with Doba, but then under Leach those disappeared and they came back but rarely used under Dickert and his offensive coordinators, but yeah, it's going to be weird. But I hope that I've heard good things about the running backs,
Mm-hmm.
and I just hope that we have the talent to do it. I think there's a chance like where you're not you have a chance, especially going into the new Pac-12 conference. You're not the little brother anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You have resources as much or better than most teams. So it's maybe you don't have to play that be weird card as much, but also it is weird to run the ball a lot now. Like it's like
I
the
know.
new inefficiency. It's like when
I was
Kyle
gonna say
Smith
that.
came in and had Jeff Pollard go back to the basket. Like
Yeah.
it was like a weird thing. It worked sometimes because no one knew how to defend it because no one
Right.
ever had a back to the basket five anymore. And so now you're going to come out and you're going to run the ball constantly and you're going to run block. You're going to have your guys jump push off the line, and you're gonna run like it. You're gonna to set up the pass. Like
Yeah.
no one does that in college football anymore. At
Yeah.
least not when you get past the elite teams. Even hell, even the elite teams throw the ball there all the time.
Yeah.
Like so that maybe this is the inefficiency now. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna ground and pound. Obviously, it was successful at the FCS level,
Hmm.
and I'll tell you, like having a coach that has won before, we saw that work really well for UW. Just it doesn't matter what level he was working at, he won games, and if you look on the other side, Idaho, they have Thomas Ford coming in, and you don't want to look at his background.
No.
Like
Well,
it's
or maybe you do. Maybe you do want to look at his background if you're a Coug fan.
he barely won at Stadium High School. He barely won at a JUCO D2 school. I can't remember, but he's won like 5 games, and whatever. Maybe he's just in a bad spot, but it's not like he's at like well, I mean, he is on the FCS level. He is a kind of a higher level school, so this is different. He obviously got his brother is Tracy Ford, and he had some connections to some guys that Tracy Ford had helped get into, well,
For
as much
folks
as,
who don't know, Tracy Ford is like a very well connected, very well known, basically football trainer guy.
yeah,
Athlete trainer, who is sort of working with football recruits of all shapes and sizes, and sometimes
Yeah,
kids who
and
aren't
so-
really football recruits but play football. And yeah, so I think the hope here was that the connections will infuse talent.
and they did, from what I've heard, a lot of these guys that they've signed from FBS schools, that they have an offensive lineman from Wazoo last year. They have a kid from Oregon State, I think, on defensive line. They have a guy from UConn. They have a few other FBS transfers. They have some, like South Dakota, so like better, some decent FCS transfers. So I think they should be like decently talented. It's just that what it was that why Idaho hired him, because it's really weird. His like head coaching experience and stuff is not what you would expect. Like it's just odd. Like I'm not saying like he's bad. It's just it's odd. Like the background. I've never seen something like that. Really. Like
Well,
like yeah.
There's no reason
Not that I
to
pay
think
that
he's
close of
good.
attention to anyone. Yeah. Like I
know?
mean,
There's nothing there where you
Stadium-
go, well, he's really good. Like
I don't think
sorry.
Stadium High School is like a known powerhouse, but they do
No,
have a cool fucking stadium.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Um,
But I don't know. Like it's maybe they think they're trying to catch lightning in a bottle, trying to out talent people. But I think if there's a sport, and I think this relates to Jimmy Rogers. Like if there's a sport where just going and grabbing a bunch of like talented guys is not going to work, I think it's football, right? Like we've seen it work in basketball where you've got 5 guys, you go get like 1 or 2 really high level guys, and you can really change the the trajectory of a program, in a hurry. In football, I just don't think it's that way, man. Like you really got to coach, and I think we've seen that. We saw that under Leach, who brought in plenty of talent, but also like was not bringing in. I mean, he was still bringing in recruiting classes in the 40s and 50s. It's not like he was
and he was
pushing high rank recruiting classes, and then
he was
you
looking
got
for
Dicker.
specific guys too.
Right. And that's kind of where I'm saying, like, it's not always about the most talented guys. I mean, obviously there's a baseline level of talent, but
Yes.
it's more about finding the right guys and coaching the hell out of them versus, if you're relying on a coach who has connections and is going to try and bring in high level talent. I mean, I guess there's like a way to be successful with that from an FCS perspective, right? Because of, who your competition is. If you can just have athletes that are that much better, then, you're going to be fine. But I'd much rather, yeah.
But before I come off like as just ripping on him too much, he did like he has been like an assistant at the
He has.
FBS level for
Yeah.
the last
He
like
has.
4 or 5 years. So like at or FCS and FBS, and he was an
Yeah.
assistant at Idaho, and
Yeah.
so it's a guy that they know, and
Yeah. And at
you know,
Washington, I think.
yeah, at
Right?
Washington, yeah,
Yeah.
quality control assistant,
Yeah.
and then he went to Idaho, Oregon State running back assistant, Oregon State running back coach. That I could see where you're like, yeah, that's a fine position to
But
be.
still not it's not the resume that typically leads to getting a head coaching job.
Yeah,
For sure.
and
Right?
hey, maybe he'll make us look dumb, and
Maybe.
maybe he learned a lot in the last 5 years, and but it's hard to figure out like what they're going to be. Honestly, if Jason Eck was still at Idaho, I'd be fucking
Way
terrified
more scared.
about this
Way
game.
more scared. Yeah.
Like I'd be like, we're going to lose. Like because he gave like typically gave FBS teams hell,
Yeah.
and also they had some pretty damn good teams
Yeah.
under Eck, and I think last year, like when they scheduled this Idaho game, everyone was like, oh shit, like we're gonna lose to Idaho, like because
been
Jason
a
Eck's
while.
gonna be there,
Yeah.
but Eck got hired away, and now we're in. We both have new coaches, and we both have completely turned over rosters, and
Yeah.
and
Well-
it'll be interesting.
I put my faith in the guy who has been proven himself to be a really good coach. And I think that matters. I think that even though we are, if you just said, okay, look, we brought, a lot of our new players came from, South Dakota State, right? A lot of their new players, as you mentioned, FBS down transfers. I take mine right now because, again, who's coaching, and I would much rather have a coach who, has been successful, who clearly knows how to coach as a head coach, right? Like not just as an assistant. Again, maybe Idaho's new coach will be great, but if you're giving me the choice, I'm liking ours. I feel like so much goes into preparation. It's a guy who has prepared teams through camp.
He's
this
lost
year
three. He's lost 3 games as a head coach.
right.
3 out of
And
30.
He did some curious things during this fall camp. One was, they had a lot more live reps than is typical, a lot more contact than is typical. And,
They could
they've
touch
had
the
a couple
quarterback.
of injuries. Yeah, you can touch the quarterback. That's a crazy one.
Yeah.
But they've had a couple of injuries. But honestly, I don't think they've had, just from, what I've seen, it doesn't seem like they've had more injuries than normal.
They had a
linebacker
starting
Brown went
linebacker.
down, right?
Yeah.
He went down. He's out for the year. But there's some thought that perhaps he maybe wasn't going to be the starter, or at the very least was going to be sharing a lot of time anyway. So, yeah, I think that Jimmy Rogers, it seems to me, knows what he's doing. I'm really fired up to kind of see what I see on Saturday and have just like some fresh things to look at and talk about. I'm extremely curious about the lines. I think that's like, given that this is a physical football based philosophy, both offensively and defensively, we know that both of those units have not been a strength, for us in quite some time. We had a little bit of with
18.
Brent Jackson and Ron Stone. We had some going there a little bit a couple of years ago, but
overall the line wasn't great.
Yeah, it's been a while, and especially the offensive line from a physical standpoint. I mean, it's been a long time since we could say that has been a trait. And then defensive line last year was struggled mightily, and they lost their best player. Right, their best player transferred. So I don't know. So I'm really curious to see is how much of what they do is how much of it is just talent, and how much of it is coaching and attitude. I'm actually really kind of curious to see, with the emphasis and the philosophy, how much that translates into performance, just because that's what they do. I mean, we saw that with Leach, right? I mean, opposite, different thing, not necessarily with the offensive line, but with like some of the other stuff. Hey, this is what we do. And so there's an attitude and a swagger about, throwing the ball, right? So I would think with this, there would be an attitude and a swagger about bullying people, hitting people up front, being physical. I'm really curious to see if that sort of a change, like shift in paradigm will sort of be noticeable through the TV screen. For me anyway,
definitely,
you're going to be there, but for me through the TV screen.
Yeah, definitely. And I've heard Jamie mention that, Jamie Vinnick from Kook Fan mentioned that, they do have that like edge, that toughness to them, that bulliness, like that we really haven't had since, like when Leach was really cooking. Obviously they were, I think under Rolovich, they were soft, and Dicker, they would fold pretty easily. And that was really weird coming off of like watching the Leach teams that would just punch people in the mouth. And so I would love to have a coaching staff that preaches, or that builds that like toughness into the players and looks for players that have that toughness, and because that's what Leach did often too. Like his staff, like they found guys like Gabe Marks who just didn't take shit from anybody, and guys like a guy like Luke Falk who got the crap kicked out of him all the time and still just was out there all the time.
Yeah.
But so it was so happy to have that back. Happy to honestly one thing we talked about it, with Digger sometimes, is like it was his first head coaching job, and sometimes it kind of felt like it. Yeah. But Jimmy has a program. Obviously, his previous coach, he kind of instilled that program with him, and then he came in, and he has a way to run a program. We saw like that was very beneficial with Leach, like a coach that just knows, this is what we do, and is very earnest and honest about what they're saying. It really means a lot, and it comes across, and it matters. And so I'm, maybe this year is a weird schedule. It's tough. It's hard to figure out how good they're going to be, but I have a belief that they're going to be better than they're supposed to be. I have a belief that Rodgers is the type of coach that can take the parts, make them greater than their son. And maybe I'll look like an idiot. I know we said really nice things about Dicker at some point, so
not anymore.
Yeah, we were excited about Rolovich too. So don't fucking listen to us. But hey, I haven't
how
got
can you
to
not
talk
be excited about
about
a guy who buys beers for everybody? I mean, come on. Like,
yeah, exactly. I haven't really got to talk about Jimmy at all. So
I know.
you're just hearing all about that, all that.
We're gonna get it all right now.
But yeah, it kind of brings another level of excitement to the season, because it is something new and different, and it's a new roster. That's tough. Like going back to playing college football 25, it's like I don't know who half these 90% of these guys are, but and then going in to look at the depth chart, Rodgers has one-upped what Leach used to do with the oars.
With the oars.
Because literally every single position is nothing but oar. Like it's oar and oar and oar. So what I mean is there's the first guy on the list, and then there's the second and third guy on the list, but there's an oar after every one. So they're saying, oh, we don't know who's going to start.
Yeah.
But obviously they know who's going to start, but it's just it's a silly thing. It's Cody's preaching competition for the guys, like, and also, being stupid. Like, you don't know who's going to start. It's like, well, probably the guy that you put at the top, and then all the other oars after.
You would think.
But yeah, like, silly stuff. But hey, Leach did that, and Leach was, one of, if not the most successful head coach we've ever had. So, well, not the most successful, obviously not the highest highs, but most consistently successful coach.
For sure.
But yeah, so excited for, see how that translates. And when it comes to the Idaho game specifically, I don't know what to expect from Idaho. I don't know what kind of offense or defense Thomas Ford runs. I could not tell you. They have a giant offensive line, especially for an FCS team. Like they're going to be like 295, up to 320, like the whole offensive line. So it's not going to be like, there was some years and the FCS team would come in and they just had, 280-pound offensive linemen, and it made our 250-pound defensive linemen look better. But they're going to be big. Obviously, there's some down transfers. So I don't know what you think about this, Jeff, but people get excited about down transfers, but it's hard to think about like really successful down transfers in football. There's a lot of really successful up transfers. Like look at Cam Ward went to Miami.
Yep.
No offense to us, but that was an up transfer.
Well,
and from Incarnate Word to here, there's in WSU has had Kyle Williams up transferred from Fresno, and he was really fucking good. And those up transfers are often just like guys that were missed, and they are actually really good. And the down transfers are often guys that have had a chance to prove themselves, and they have not.
We had Chris Hudson last year. He was pretty good. That was pretty definitionally a down transfer from Oregon to us. But there's also, however many other guys we've had over the years who have, if not down transferred, sort of laterally transferred, and still like not really, lit the world on fire. So that definitely, I think your point is well taken, I guess is what I'm saying. Like there aren't very many examples. Chris Hudson really was the only one that kind of comes to mind for me as a guy who, down transferred and then had some success, but, and again, he, took off right after he had the success too. So whatever.
Took off quick as he could. So a lot of guys took off, obviously, when Dicker left. And I think a lot of those guys probably would have left anyway. Just how the nature of the beast now. Rogers brought, especially on defense, you're going to see a lot of former Jackrabbits. The secondary linebackers, there's going to be a lot of former Jackrabbits that are going to be playing. So that's interesting. Like, when you first saw, you're like, I don't know, but then think about Indiana last year.
Yeah.
With a bunch of James Madison players, they went to the college football playoffs.
Worked pretty good. Worked pretty good for those guys.
Yeah.
Well, should we assess how well we think it's going to work this Saturday with some predictions?
Yeah, sure, man. This is like
our highly informed predictions.
Yeah. I honestly this is going to be the biggest shot in the dark.
Yeah.
Of I don't know what we're about. I don't know what they're about.
Yeah.
But yeah. So why don't you go first, Jeff?
You're gonna
Give
let
me a score.
Let me have the honors.
Yeah, I'll do it next
right.
week.
Okay. Here's what I'm gonna say. I think that the nature of the philosophy means I think fewer possessions, right? So that impacts score. I don't know what the line is now. Earlier in the week, it was like 11.5 or something. I don't know if it's still there. That seems, honestly, I would not be shocked if that's right about where it lands, if only because, again, when you're suppressing possessions, fewer chances to score. So I think that's not, totally off base. So I think that, we're looking at something maybe like 27-13, 27-10, something like that in my mind. I think the defense, you mentioned all the defensive guys who came over from South Dakota State. I think that actually really matters in the sense, especially early in the year, from an execution standpoint. I think that's going to make a big difference. I think Idaho is still, going to be kind of figuring it out. So I think they're going to have a hard time scoring points. I don't think we're going to put up a ton of points in similar fashion, but I think we're going to put up enough points in our, whatever 9-10 possessions that we get. I think it'll be comfortable but low scoring.
Yeah, I'm feeling good about the ability to run the ball and make some big plays, some chunk plays in runs. I could see some 50, 60-yard touchdown runs happening. So that might speed up the game a bit, or slow down the game, depending on how you look at it. So yeah, I'm gonna go a little higher scoring than you, Jeff. I'm gonna go 31-17 Cougs.
Okay.
That literally is just out of nowhere. Like I
whatever,
cannot
man.
even. Yeah, like I just it'll be. I'll have to pay attention. I can't drink too much before the game.
That's right. You're gonna have to know what you're talking about next week, Craig.
I'm not gonna be able to just like see the routes and expect to know what's gonna happen.
I know, right? Like,
so
we've
weird.
seen this, route combination 1,000 times. There's mesh for the 1,036.
That's honestly
time.
like why I liked sitting up top, like in the club, so much. You could like see it, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll be as much fun with like a off tackle and going off tackle.
Yeah. I don't know. Just watch those linemen, man.
Yeah,
Watch them do the dirty
yeah,
work.
yeah. What happened on that play? I was just watching the left tackle. And,
Yeah, I was watching the left tackle do his thing.
yeah, they ran to the right, but I was watching that left tackle. He was killing it.
That was a bummer.
But yeah. So what did you land on?
I think it's at like 27-10 or 27-13. I don't know.
Well, which
something
one?
like
Which one are you gonna do, Jeff?
that. 27-13.
And I said 31-17.
27.
So we're saying WSU beats the spread.
Couple touchdowns.
Which it started at 9.5, and I don't know where it is now.
Couple touchdowns.
Yeah, so we did it. We protected the game. That matters.
Way to go, man.
Yeah. Bet your life
high five.
savings on it. Hell yeah. Bet your life savings, folks. That's the great guarantee that you can do that if you want.
That's right.
I'm not going to guarantee anything's going to happen, but I'll guarantee that you are allowed to bet your life savings on an FCS, FBS opening game.
Yes.
Excellent idea.
Yes.
So, Jeff, we talked about football. I think this is where I ask you, what are you drinking, even though I can see it? I can see
Yeah.
what
All
you're
right.
drinking.
So I went and stopped at Rainier Growlers on the way home today. And to my surprise,
Which is much closer to your home now.
It is now. Yeah, I live.
Not to dox you.
Folks who are familiar with the area, it's fine. I live in Puyallup now instead of Graham, so I'm a little farther north. Feeling pretty good about that. So I saw this and I was like, oh hell yeah! So Jester King, it's a Jester King beer. I don't see Jester King beers up here very often. I don't know if they are more frequent than I realize, but last
really.
time I had, what's that?
No, not really.
Okay. All right. I was going to say, because the last time I had a Jester King beer was when I was at Jester King in Austin in 2020. It was in February 2020. It was right before the bad
world.
times. So if you're ever in Austin, Jester King's not actually in Austin. It's kind of out of Austin in the
hill country.
in the hills, and Lots of vineyards and stuff out there.
It's like 20 minutes outside of downtown.
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
But totally worth a drive if you're ever
Yeah.
down there.
It is.
Beautiful.
It is probably my favorite brewery to visit.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Beautiful property. They've got like animals. You can go pet goats if you want, like whatever. It's
They do
pretty cool.
goat yoga.
Yeah, you can do all that cool stuff. So this one is called the Garys. Looks like a couple of black cats on here. So here's what it says. No, there's no story. There's no story. I thought there was a story.
Boo.
Yeah, sorry. But it is a West Coast style IPA, and it is absolutely delicious. In case you care about the hops, Columbus Cryo, Crush Cryo, and hand-selected Simcoe, Mosaic, and Citra. So in case you were wondering
Hand-selected.
about that, yes, hand-selected. They actually literally went through every little hop bud and only picked the ones
Yeah.
that met their standard. At least
They
that's
didn't
what
just
I like to
go
think.
to Yakima
Yeah,
and like be like get drunk and be like, yeah, we want
Yes.
those ones, and
Yeah,
then
I
go
want those ones.
and they'll
Yeah.
black out at Sports Center
yeah,
downtown.
yeah. Yeah. But yeah, delicious beer. Really, really, really delicious West Coast IPA. And I was really curious about it too, because Jester King makes great beers, but also I think they're more well known for like their kind of like
Yeah.
more avant-garde type brews.
So
yeah.
their story was early on. They said that their house culture took over their brewing apparatus, and they tried to brew clean beers, and they couldn't. So they're just like, we're only making funky saisons and sours and that. But as they've grown, they can invest in another brew house where they can now make IPAs and lagers and things like that. So it's been a few years, I think.
That makes sense.
You're ahead of me. I've never had any of their clean beers. I have a ton of their wild beers in my basement. But I have never had any of their IPAs or their lagers or anything. So cool to hear that they're good. Not surprised
it is
either.
delicious. A great West Coast IPA these days is kind of the shit. So
Yes,
it's really good.
I have like, I have all those fancy beers in my basement, but give me a crisp Pilsner or a lager or like a Helles or something, or a West Coast IPA. That's all I want in my life. Hell yeah. Yeah. So I'm wearing a Wayfinder shirt, which
saw that.
I did not plan ahead of time. My kids got this for me for my birthday when we went to Portland for my birthday last year. Because it has a cat on it. I'll stand
Of course.
got a cool
There
cat.
we go. Wait a second. I was waiting for like it has a cat on it. Oh, okay. Oh shit. It's got
It's
a
got a
like a
Wayfinder. It's
face-eating
got a
cat.
metal cat. It's a heavy metal cat.
True. It's true. I actually almost drank a
Satanic
Wayfinder
cat.
beer. I have a Wayfinder Party Time that I bought, and I almost had that tonight. But
Love me some party time.
that's a great beer. But I was like, I think I've had this on the show, or you've had it. Maybe one of us had it on the show. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this.
I was at Wayfinder just a week ago. We went to Oregon Coast and we stayed in Portland a day on the way back, and I just popped over to Wayfinder and had some beers, talked to this guy who was in town for this beer event, and Brews for New Avenues. It's a charity event if anyone's ever heard of it. So he kind of tagged along with his beer nerd friends, and so I talked to him about beer for a while and got
That's awesome.
a little tipsy at Wayfinder. That was good times. I did buy a 4-pack of one of their lagers. I don't know what I saw, autumnal lager, and I just thought, oh, it's like maybe like an amber lager or something. No, it was like a pumpkin spiced lager. Not my favorite Wayfinder beer.
I know that is not. Your jam.
I don't like necessarily not like pumpkin beers, but that beer did not hit for me.
Yeah.
I think I couldn't even finish like a 60-ounce can of it. Like,
That's a bummer.
but Amanda took him down. she was cool with them.
Well, that's
But
good.
that's not what I have. This is not even one I got when I was in Portland. I did get this killer West Coast IPA there, that was called Metalheads, but
Of course.
it was named after steelhead fish, not after uh, not after music. But I am having fantasies because that's what the
Okay.
start of the season is all about. Your
That's right.
fantasies about what could happen. We don't know. We don't even
It's
know.
true.
New coach, new team.
Yeah, man.
Just fantasize all you want.
We're going undefeated. We're going to the
We're going
CFP.
undefeated, and we're going to CFP. We're
They're
hosting
going to make a movie about
hosting a
this shit.
fucking playoff game,
That's right.
and it's
That's
going to be
right.
snowing in Pullman and cold as shit. We're hosting
Exactly.
a playoff game. That's right. Um, if we're even eligible to do that, I'm not even sure. I
We
I'm not
are.
even
We
sure.
are. We
We
could
could
do
be in the
that.
top four.
Yeah.
Um,
Just like Notre
yeah.
Dame. Come on now.
Yeah, we have the same rules as them. Sure.
Totally.
But this is a premium hoppy rice lager.
Mm.
So it is a collab with Top Wire Hop Project, and I don't know what that is. Is it a brewery?
Sure.
Or
Probably.
is it a hop producer? Like in,
I don't
I
know.
don't know. And Crosby Hops, that's a hop producer. With
Yes.
estate grown trademark, estate grown hop varieties, notes of dank grapefruit. I like notes of dank, just dank. Notes of
Dank.
dank.
Right. Like,
It usually
just like
means
weed.
that either means weed or mildew basement. Like that's
Yes.
two different definitions. Usually with hops, it's weed.
Yeah. Hopefully
Yes,
it's
there was
weed.
notes of weed, grapefruit, and pink starburst. There's definitely notes of pink starburst in this beer. Like I didn't read that before, but it's got
That's
this
funny as
weird,
hell.
like very like sweet, pink starburst is like strawberry, right, or something. I don't even know. Like it's got this like weird like artificial strawberry, but like in a good way. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was very tasty. As most of their lagers are that are pumpkin spiced. Uh, I enjoy it. Wayfinder is one of my favorite breweries. I think I've said that a million times on this show. But I love Wayfinder. I love the beer they make. They pioneered the cold IPA, which is an amazing beer style.
Yep.
They have killer ass heavy metal inspired branding. So I love their merch. I love their cans. Basically, it just looks like I'm wearing a band T-shirt whenever I'm wearing, like them in Holy Mountain. It just looks like I'm wearing a band T-shirt whenever I wear their stuff.
It's a good way to roll.
So yeah, so it just looks like I'm always wearing the same shit. It's black with some vaguely satanic reference on it.
Kinda
But
like
yeah,
Jester King. We're on that theme tonight.
you
with
Jester King, also heavy metal branding. Absolutely. Heavy metal
For sure, with
breweries
their-
are the best.
I've got one of their great bottle openers with like the barrel and like the goat's head
Yep.
like thing
Yep,
off the
I have-
top, the horns.
Yeah, I have a T-shirt with that. It's sick.
Yeah.
I love that. But now I moved on to my sidecar beer. Heard of this one?
Woo!
Old
I
Crimson
recognize that beer.
Lager.
I recognize that one.
Since we're recording the first podcast of the football season, I'm gonna say this is the first Old Crimson Lager of the football
Hell yeah.
season.
Hell
Even
yeah.
though actual football games have already been played.
I know.
It's
Week
fucking
0.
August 25th. Like, what is going on? August 26th. Sorry, I don't even know what day it
Yeah,
is anymore.
close enough. All that week
But yeah,
0
like
shit.
week 0 games. Teams have already lost games. Like that's
Not
so
us.
funny. We're still
We haven't lost
undefeated,
any
baby.
games yet. It's
We
great.
haven't lost a single game.
We're undefeated.
Let's get through August undefeated. I would love
That
that.
sounds good. I like that.
And celebrate with some old Crimson Lager. I can't wait to get back to the Coug and have some of this in my mug.
Hell
Very
yeah.
excited. So, Old Crimson Lager. There is now also Old Crimson Cocktail.
There
And
is.
also some Old Crimson Wine is coming
Yes. Yes.
from the one and only Drew
Bledsoe's
Bledsoe.
Winery. Yeah.
So the Old Crimson Wine, I saw you can pre-order it if you're in the 1890
Mhm.
Club. I probably will do that. I haven't got around to it yet. You do have to order 3 bottles. So, and they're like
Yep.
$45. So
Yep.
you got It's like 135
It's a bit
bucks
of an
to
investment.
pre-order. Yeah, but I would like to have that wine. If anything, just for events and stuff. So, but what is the the distillery making or I don't know if you call them distillery, they're making Old Crimson cocktail,
I do not
which
remember. I can look it up while you're talking.
Paddock.
There you go. That
Um,
sounds familiar.
Paddock, which they are a Cougar-owned distillery. Um, it's I've heard it's very good. I like how they were going. Pomegranate and blackberry. I think they were trying to make it look crimson.
Hmm.
I know they had
Also,
a
a
launch.
delicious flavor combination.
Yes, absolutely. They launched it at Marco Polo last week. It's funny. I was in Seattle. Like, it's funny. If you and I had gone to that Sounders match
Yeah.
together, we absolutely would have went to Marco Polo before.
Yes.
Like, but
Yes.
but I was with my daughter, and she cannot go into Marco Polo, not for like
Nope.
17 more years.
It's gonna be a while.
Um, yeah. But so one thing that I noticed when I read the description of this cocktail is that Paddock says it's seasonal, a fall seasonal. What are your thoughts on that, Jeff?
I mean, that seems limiting, I
Yes.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently they're only going to make it in the fall for football season.
Okay. Is there plans
Maybe
to do
there's
a
a different
different
style, and
style?
yeah, we'll see. Maybe we got to
Okay.
get Tim Brandle on here, but
I
maybe
don't
he'll
know.
know.
Yeah, we should do that at some point.
We definitely should. But yeah, sorry, I have a little bit of cough, and it is so I might kick it to you a few times just so I can press mute and cough.
Okay. All
Um,
right.
we've had something going through our house, and it's not fun. Okay, that felt good.
There we go.
Okay, so
Excellent use of the mute button.
yeah, thank you. But yeah, but I've also heard that some stores that sell Old Crimson Lager view it as a seasonal beer, even though Pike makes it year round. Um, they view it as a seasonal beer, and they only purchase it like a lot of the the Spokane grocery stores and stuff that were carrying it. They viewed it as a seasonal beer. But hey, everyone, this is not. I will drink this Old Crimson shit all year round,
All
and
year
I will
long.
almost exclusively drink it all year round. Like
I
I will
know.
make it the primary shit I drink. Don't just sell it in the fall. Like I want it all summer. I want those cocktails all
Yes.
summer. I want the Old Crimson
Yes.
Lager all summer, which you can. Like
Yes.
Total Wine had it all summer. I had
Yeah.
lots of it all summer because I just go Total Wine. They have 12 packs of it pretty regularly because not as many other places are buying it, but they always got it. I have not found it at other places I used to get it, um, but I can find it pretty regularly at Total Wine. That's a lager. I
Yep.
looked. Total Wine has very limited cocktail, like canned cocktail selection. It was mostly just Cutwater stuff. So I didn't see any Old Crimson. I don't even know who's selling it yet, to be honest.
Yeah.
I hope I can find a can of it this weekend. I would love to try it. But yeah, Old Crimson Lager, Old Crimson Coffee. Now it's Thomas Hammer, I think.
Yep. I'm about to
So
order my first shipment from Thomas Hammer after having the subscription with I don't even know how to pronounce it. Indaba. I don't
yeah,
know.
in
Uh,
Indaba.
Indaba.
Yeah.
Getting the subscription with them. So I'm excited to start up the subscription with Thomas Hammer. Get that shipped to my house because I drink a fuck ton of coffee. I drink
I might have
so much
my Old
coffee.
Crimson coffee mug.
Yeah. I got one of those. You got it for me, I think, for my birthday, right? Yeah, I got one
Probably.
of those. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Might have
excited
been
to try
Christmas.
that out as well. Yeah. Might have been Christmas. I don't know. Whatever.
But yeah. So the Old Crimson, and they've launched a whole Old Crimson website, which is cool. And
Yeah,
WSU
it is
is
cool.
in on the branding, so some of that
Yep.
stuff actually has the Old Crimson flag
Yep.
on it. So that's really cool. Expanding that stuff, just any way to raise money for NAL for the collective is cool. And I personally just love drinking these drinks that are
Yeah.
basically Wazoo branded. Like I love
Yep.
it. I love it so much. Like I love like walking through Total Wine with my like 3 12 packs of Old Crimson and just that's all I'm buying. Like just that's it right here. Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love just having that. You know, Pike Brewing has a new spot across from the Paramount that is in like the new Seattle uh,
Oh
uh,
yeah, yeah. Yep.
convention center building.
Convention center. Yep.
Um, yeah, so they have a tiny little tap room there. They got Old Crimson on tap and in cans. So that was
Awesome.
cool. It's funny. My friend Ashley and I, we were going up for a local metal show on Saturday night. Um, we walked over to go to the Pike because we had seen it the other day because we had went to Ice Nine Kills and Dayseeker at the Paramount. So we walked by with my sister and we saw like, oh, there's another Pike place. That's cool. So that's another place to go to get Old Crimson. That's amazing. So we saw it and then we're like when we're trying to figure out a place to go before the show at Funhouse, which is connected to El Corazon, we're like, oh yeah, we know that place. Let's just go there. You know, I know I'll get a beer I like, and so we went and we saw on the marquee, uh, it was Martin Short and Steve Martin had a show at 8, and we're like, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
That sounds really fun. So we got on Vivid Seats and we were sitting there drinking beers and just like watching it, you know, when tickets go down. Tickets
Yeah.
go down to a price that we were fine with. Like, okay, we'll miss some of that metal show. We'll catch the headliner or whatever. We're gonna go. Well, Vivid Seats can't get a hold of the person who sold the tickets, and they're having the
Oh.
trouble transfer them. They didn't transfer them until 8:30. Show started at 8. So
Yeah.
we go in. They're still kind of doing introductions though. Honestly, they were basically at the start of the show, and they went till 10, like 10:10. So we
Yeah.
saw like most of it, and so we were excited about that. Went and caught a local band called Tragedy by Design. After that, really fun. I don't know if anyone else did the Steve Martin Martin Short Tragedy by Design doubleheader that we
You
did.
know, Craig, I bet there were so many people who did that, who were like, yes, this is, I
Yeah, of
cannot
the like
miss these two back
maybe
to back.
maybe 25 to 30 people that were at that show, that metalcore show. Yeah, definitely. Like they were all at Steve Martin
All of
Martin
them.
Short,
All of
100%.
them. All 30 of them.
But that was really fun to see that, and that was a nice surprise. I wake up the next morning, and Vivid Seats has refunded my tickets. So we went
Hey,
to Steve Martin
that's a
and
good
Martin
deal.
Short for free.
There you go. That's a good deal.
Great decision. Great decision.
I bet.
So
I
yeah,
bet.
but yeah, that was a good time. An interesting night, and it turned out to work out really well.
Yeah.
Even though you know me, I stressed the fuck out for like 45 minutes waiting
Of
for them
course.
to send those
Of
goddamn
course. Of
tickets.
course.
I was about to give up, and then all of a sudden I got a Ticketmaster notification, like, you have tickets to accept. I was like, oh my God, we're going in.
Okay, let's go in.
But yeah, so that has nothing to do with the Cougs, but I drank multiple Old Crimsons
Yeah.
while sitting
For
there
the kids.
for the kids,
For the
while
kids.
sitting there contemplating if I wanted to go to this Steve Martin show or not. He played the banjo, and there was a
Nice.
bluegrass band there that he
That's
played
awesome.
some songs with, and they played songs without him.
That's
Saw a lot of
fantastic.
fiddling, some really extensive fiddling,
Nice.
and then Martin Short just being super funny and making fun of Steve Martin a lot.
Yeah.
Good
that-
time.
that
Steve Martin,
happens.
who is 80 years old. He is
I know,
80.
man. How's that possible?
I don't know,
It
dude.
doesn't look that old.
No,
I
it's
don't know.
because so this is my. He's had that gray hair since like forever.
Yeah, since he was like
And so
30.
we just assumed he was old always.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so as he's gotten older, you're like, oh yeah, he's still just old. Like
He's still just old.
He's still just always like 50 years old or
Yeah,
something.
I
Like
mean,
that's
yeah,
that's where he's at.
I'm sure he's had a little work done, I'm sure it's, but that's all right.
Ain't nothing wrong with some Botox.
No. Only
Keep
Murders
things tight.
is fantastic, man. Like that show's
So good.
amazing.
So good. That's what obviously grew up with those two guys, like watching them in movies and stuff. And then and now like as an adult, like watching them in Only Murders, like they work so well together, and they
I
really
know.
did
It's
in the show.
fantastic. It was a great show.
Famous Wazoo alums, Steve Martin and Martin
Yeah,
Short.
totally. All right, should we run through non-revenue sports here super fast?
Yes. So soccer, their season has begun, and then they took 2 weeks off. They
played a game 2 weeks ago and have not played since.
Yeah, they play Idaho on Thursday. Very Idaho, but they play at Idaho on Thursday. So
by the way, I bet they are thrilled to be playing in the Kibbe Dome. Like truly, honestly.
Is it in
like
the Kibbe Dome?
Yeah, it's like 1 billion degrees in Pullman right now.
Oh yeah.
And they get to go play in the Kibbe Dome. I bet they are like stoked about that.
I didn't realize they play. Like, does the soccer team always play in the Kibbe Dome, or is it just like a?
Yeah, they do.
Wow.
They do.
So yeah, so they play. You have if you get early to Pullman this weekend, you can see them play in the Kibbe Dome. Yeah, which if you've never went to the Kibbe Dome, you got to go. Like it's an experience.
You'd have to be. It'd be really early. It's Thursday.
Yeah,
but if you
the
stick
people
around, if you stick around to Sunday, that's the one. If you can stick around till Sunday,
they're going to be hosting Georgia.
Yeah, that's a
tickets
big
are like $5. They sell beer. 1 p.m. Hosting Georgia. If you want to stick around, have a longer day in Pullman, you can watch the soccer team play Georgia. So two-game weekend after they lost to Utah State at home to start the season. I do not know why there was that game so early.
Yeah,
no
shame in that though.
They had a crimson out before the students even got there. Like what was this?
A little weird. But no shame in case people are thinking like, oh my God, they lost Utah State. Utah State actually has a really good program. And we played them last year, and I think, they were one of the top scoring teams in the country last year. So, if you want to have a glass half full, you could be like, only giving up 1 goal to Utah State's pretty good. Not scoring any goals, that's not so good, but whatever. Hopefully we'll be
I will definitely
and get back on the winning side.
I will not be waiting around for Georgia because we got to get all the way back to the west side because my wife works really early on Monday. Yay for working in hospitals. But also Jeff and I, there's a chance
Sounders match.
We could see Lionel Messi in Lumen Field. So,
or we could see Miami with Messi hurt. That's possible too.
Yes. There's a few other interesting players on Miami, but Messi, if Messi actually is going to be projected to play in a game there, it'll be like a full stadium.
We can see Rodrigo de Paul again after watching him play for Atletico.
Yeah.
No big deal. Anyway,
no big deal.
This has been Sounders Talk.
Hey, we were talking about soccer, all right?
It's true. Volleyball hasn't even started their season yet. They don't start till Friday.
So you can catch. It's kind of early on Friday, 3:30 on Friday. They also play on Saturday at noon, and they're playing Dayton, a good volleyball program, and then they also play on Sunday at 11. Another rank. So Dayton, who we played in the tournament, hosted them in the NCAA tournament 2 years ago, and beat them. That was Dayton, right? Yeah, that was Dayton. And then also hosting Utah, who is ranked. So
Craig, I got to tell you, we are not hosting.
Wait, what?
This is all in Salt Lake City.
Oh, my bad. I just saw us on the bottom.
Sorry, dude.
Sorry, everyone. Hopefully no one just ran out and be like, they shut it off. We're going to fucking volleyball. No.
They're like, I was waffling on going to Pullman this weekend, but I'm in now.
We talked about this before we got on. I hate the schedule that pops up automatically.
Yes.
It gives the least amount of information possible,
Mm-hmm.
and then you end up sounding like an idiot in front of your listeners.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So go to for what I meant was for those of you Cougs in Salt Lake City,
Yes.
you got a
Go to the
triple header
Utah
of matches
Classic.
this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So actually a huge opening weekend for them.
It is. It actually is.
Two really big teams. And then they go to the next weekend, GCU Classic,
Yep.
and then the Harvard Invitational. So they don't
Yeah.
play at home until they host UW
Yeah.
the week of the Apple Cup, but not the Wednesday before the Apple Cup. So their first home game will be their ninth game of the year, ninth match of
Yeah.
the year against UW.
This is the life of the relegated, my man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, we got anything else here?
I don't think so. I'm looking forward to going to Pullman. I'm gonna come in on Saturday. I'll be excited to go to the Coug and I just see what's going on. They're moving.
Get your
They
mug
moved
out.
They moved the what was traditionally in the field house to the Cub ballroom. So if you're a field
be a little
house
weird.
pre-gamer, need to adjust.
Readjust.
I saw like someone, I think it was Michael Presson commented on it like on Coug Center, like or someone whoever wrote about it on Coug Center. I think it was Preston, hosting events, or maybe someone mentioned it on the Slack. I don't know, man. I'm sorry, I'm not good at citing information here. Hosting they want to like host events in the field
Yeah.
house, which is
Yep.
interesting. Like, are they gonna guss it up a little more?
I don't know, man.
It's definitely like a field house. Like,
Yeah. It's gonna be
Gotta-
weird.
got a lot of
I'm
shit
looking
to
forward
move
to
out
hearing.
of there.
I'm looking forward to hearing from you how the game day experience is. One thing we know, and we're not going to dive into this now because we're already an hour and 12 minutes deep. But one thing we know will not be a part of the experience this weekend: no beer sales throughout the stadium, which everyone was hopeful for. So we'll have to table that for another day. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
there's it's weird. You can get beers at the soccer games. You can
And
get
basketball
beers at the
games
basketball
and volleyball
games.
games
At
and-
the I don't know about the can you
But-
get into the volleyball games?
I think
don't know.
so, but not fucking
Um,
football games.
But not the football. You can get them at baseball games.
Yeah.
You cannot get them at the football games unless you're in the club, which is weird
Yes.
because that means they already sell booze at the
It's
football
all
games.
very strange.
So
It's
really,
all very
what
weird.
other licensing is? I'm so confused by this.
I don't know. It's all very strange.
It's very strange. Just they even have the little like stands set up in the stadium. They had them
Yeah,
last
they're
year.
like ready to go.
They're ready to go. Like I remember last year, it was midway through the season. We're like, oh, they're gonna start selling beer. Nope,
Nope.
and no indication that's gonna start happening. One thing I would love to see, but I know they have all sorts of contracts that prohibit that, is Old Crimson in the club.
So okay, now I don't know about the club, but like all those carts, like people had pictures of the carts, and Old Crimson was like on the price list on the beer carts. So maybe
on
up in
the
club.
on the beer carts, like the
Yeah.
ones that are on the concourse.
Yeah, the ones that were like getting prepped, they had like beer list and prices on the side of the beer carts, and Old Crimson was on there.
If I can get Old Crimson at the game, because I am sitting in the club. Shout out. I do not have season tickets this year. I was unemployed for the first 4 months of the year. I had to make some budgetary decisions.
Those are choices.
But I shout out to, we call him Dad Roz, Rochelle's dad, for hooking me up with club tickets. Because, as you may know, Jeff, the only way you can buy single game club tickets is if you already have club tickets.
Mhm.
So I had to find someone who had club tickets because I'd be bougie now. I can't.
Yeah.
I've been
Can't
up
go
there
back.
for several years now.
Can't go
and
back with the
I'm
commoners.
stuck up there at this point.
You're like, I can't go back. I can't leave. I can't get out of here.
I need my 6 Miller Lights during the game. Okay,
That's right.
I need
That's
my
right.
6
That's
Miller
right.
Lights.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, but I'm excited for all of that. It's gonna be a cool weekend. Gonna be floating the Yakima River on Friday, and then
Oh,
going to Pullman on
amazing.
Saturday, and then maybe watching the Sounders win a trophy on Sunday.
some
We'll see.
trophy on Sunday.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna hit the outro music here. Here we go.
All right. Well, then I guess all there is left to say is go fucking Cougs, Jeff.
Yeah, go fucking Cougs, Craig. Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Get vaccinated.
Get vaccinated. Still, you
Join
can
a
still do
union
that.
if you
All
can.
the vaccinations
Yeah.
for your children.
Yeah.
All good.
Support.
Join a union.
support a
a
union.
union. Support
Yeah.
companies that support unions.
That's right. Shop at
All that good
places
shit.
that have unions. Like if you're grocery shopping, here's a good one. Grocery shopping, Safeway, Kroger, union employees. Those are union shops.
Hell yeah.
Walmart, very notably not a union shop. I'll just go throw that out there. I have some love for Winco. That's employee owned, so that's kind of like
Kinda.
that's it. Anyway, all right, Craig. The music's gonna fade out. See you later, man.
Bye.